Hello, my name is Fern G. Carr. My website is www.ferngzcarr.com. Welcome to Shards of Crystal, Book Launch, Part 1. I'm pleased to share excerpts from the launch of my poetry collection, Shards of Crystal. The launch took place in New Westminster, a member municipality of Metro Vancouver, BC, Canada. It's also the location of Silver Bow Publishing. The event was organized by my publisher, Poet Laureate Emerita Candace James, and was hosted by Warren Dean Fulton, the MC of Poetry New Westminster's Poetic Justice Reading Series. This is part 1 of 5 of my book launch. Enjoy! Okay, so my book, Shards of Crystal, is a book about the harshness and beauty of life. So as such, it's been described as a metamorphosis of darkness to light. And I've started the book off with dark poems, and that's represented by the word shards in the title. And then the book gradually changes course and moves towards lighter poems. And crystal is a metaphor for that, enlightenment. So when I was planning on how I was going to structure this reading, I thought I should respect that order of darkness to light. So I will start off by depressing you. Okay. And also, since each chapter has a different focus, I thought that I would choose poems from each one. And some of these poems were drawn from real life. Warren mentioned my SPCA experience, so some are drawn from that. Some are just anecdotes from news stories that I came across. So the first chapter, All in the Mind, as you would guess by the title, has to do with issues like mental illness, dementia, anorexia, that type of thing. So the first one is called Dancing Through the Flames, and that deals with suicide. Dancing through the flames, flesh seared, impotent to communicate his torment as the belt tightens around his neck. He can't eat, he can't sleep, and is numb. Fed by others, he's told what to do, and just like a child, he's obedient. He feels worthless and wants to die. They don't understand. He wants to die as he dances wildly through the flames. They burn, they burn, they burn, as the belt tightens around his neck. He doesn't feel complete. His accident robbed him of that. He does forgive, he just cannot forget. A warm trickle runs down his leg, and he does not know why. He's angry and happy and confused as the belt tightens around his neck. Until one day, when he's all alone, in his sad little room, with no one to watch him dancing through the flames, the belt is cinched through the last notch. He turns blue. He's found, barely alive. His future children now have permission to exist. But what about his soul? What happened to that? It lies trapped in limbo, somewhere between the accident, the belt, and his dreams, forever dancing through the flames. Okay, the next one has to do with trauma. Like I said, just fair warning, my disclaimer that I am starting off with really dark stuff. This has to do with trauma, and the interpretation of a particular trauma, is a subjective thing, so basically interpret this how you will. Gone. The appreciation of lake and jack pine reduced to vapid ghosts of water and trees, reflected in tired eyes. Gone. The psychic energy sapped by clenched muscles and rushes of adrenaline at the ring of a doorbell. The creaking of pipes and a furnace that speaks in tongues. The remains, a compulsion to examine every nook and cranny for monsters lurking in dusk's impending darkness, in a house bereft of sunshine. So now I'm going to move on to the next chapter, body language, and again by the title, that's got to do with physical things. So this chapter is about illnesses, surgeries, and addiction. This first poem, I Brought Flowers to the Stroke Ward, unfortunately is based on a true story. I did have a friend who had a stroke, and I went to visit her. So, I brought flowers to the stroke ward, but didn't know I wasn't supposed to. Just showed up with a bouquet, glorious petals, in their glory. Glory, morning glory, morning glory, in their glory. Before she had her stroke, before she wasted away into a garden gnome, head tilted downward, sitting immobile, in an off-limits hospital bed. Limited visitors, visiteurs sans fleur, to access, no sense, stimulating or exciting an already overstimulated, overexcited, bleeding brain. I wasn't supposed to bring flowers to the stroke ward, but I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay. Now this next one, I hope I don't offend anyone with this because it does deal with Vancouver, and Vancouver's probably my most favorite city of all cities, but like other cities, it does have its problem areas, and this is the poem dealing with addiction, and it's called Yin and Yang, although my Mandarin teacher would want me to say Yin and Yang. Okay, so I'll read that one. Yin and Yang. The Dr. Sun Yat-sen Chinese Classical Garden, a harmonious interplay of lily ponds, weathered rocks, ornate trellises, and pavilion roofs whose sweeping curvatures smile upon wintering flowered plum, cypress, and bamboo. Imperial grace in labyrinthine courtyards, a unity of opposites, a Taoist yin and yang. Sanctuary from the unchained dragon down the block, jade eyes flashing as it swoops on bony wings, red reptilian scales of spent syringes and inverted bottles, bristling in a frenzy to gorge on the festering. A threadbare trench coat, curled in the fetal position, matted hair straggling out one end, scab-encrusted feet poking out the other. Yellow claws lined with strips of dark green dirt. Still clutching a bottle next to a garbage bag of empties, as the neighborhood struts, shuffles, and staggers around her. Battles for a shopping cart laden with tawdry treasures, furtive exchanges of powdered promises of escape, prostitutes transacting matters of the flesh, and addicts who press their flesh into shadowy nooks, only a needle's jab away from sweet oblivion on East Hastings Street. Acknowledgements and credits. All poems contained herein, copyright Fern G. Carr. Dancing Through the Flames, Gone, I Brought Flowers to the Stroke Ward, and Yin and Yang are from my poetry book, Shards of Crystal. I Brought Flowers to the Stroke Ward was first published in Petals in the Pan. Yin and Yang was first published in Soliloquies Anthology. Pyramidal prism photo without book, courtesy of Michael Tsietzik on Unsplash. Shards of Crystal photos, copyright Fern G. Carr. Videography, courtesy of Alex Carr. Book launch organized by Silverbow Publishing and Poetic Justice Reading Series, Poetry New Westminster. Venue courtesy of the Heritage Grill.